Tonight in the kitchen, we're making homemade beef stew. Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today I went to Walmart and I found some beef markdown. So in tonight's video, we're gonna have us a skillet of homemade beef stew. I'm gonna stick to the basic ingredients and not try to spend no extra on any kind of weird stuff. I'm gonna use what I've got, and I'm gonna make a great pot of beef stew on a budget for around $10. So y'all come on and join us at the stove as we share this simple and easy recipe on country style beef stew. Let's get started. We're going to put us a little black pepper, a little salt, and some of our total seasoning. And now that the grease is hot, we're going to start adding our beef tips to our pan. And I may have to do these in 2 batches. But that'll be okay. Just frying this ahead of time and getting it a good charcoal brown helps give your dish a good flavor. We're just going to let it get brown on all the sides. Okay, now that I've got it brown on both sides, we're just going to take these out and put the other batch in. And now we're going to brown that back. And now while those are cooking, we're going to use this bouillon beef powder. And we're going to make us some beef broth. I'm going to add to that 2 cups of water, I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of beef bouillon powder. And just mix that until it all dissolves. It don't have to be perfect because it's going to dissolve too when you start cooking it. Just keep mixing it, trying to get it dissolved the best you can. Okay. Now we're flipping these over and we're going to brown the other side. And we're not trying to get these cooked all the way through. We're just wanting that brown charcoal flavor to them. That good flavor, that iron skillet will give y'all's meat. If you hadn't got you an iron skillet, like I've said lots of times, you need to get you one. Okay, now we're going to take this batch out. Okay, and now to that, we're going to add our onions. We're using purple onions. This is about a half of a cup of purple diced onions. And we're just going to let those start cooking down and caramelize. And now we're just going to let these caramelize real good. And that right there is just giving those onions a good flavor cooked in that beef. Little giblets and pieces off of that beef. Now you could have cooked them all at the same time, but to me, it don't let your onions cook as good as if you cook it separate like this. It lets it get all the flavors that you can get. Just a couple more steps, but it don't take probably around 20 minutes. Now this right here is an easy way to make homemade beef stew. With lots of flavor. Okay, whatever kind of oil you're using, just add you a little bit more to that once your onions get cooked the way you want them. Okay, and now to that, we're going to add our beef back to that now. And all the juices that came off of it. Okay, we probably have around 3 tablespoons of oil in there after I added me some more oil. So now we're going to add around 3 tablespoons of flour. Okay, and now we're just going to take that and mix that flour all over our beef tips. And now we're just going to let that flour cook for around 3 to 4 minutes and get a little bit brown, because you don't want your beef stew to taste like flour. Okay? And now to that, we're going to add our 2 cups of our homemade beef broth that we made using that bouillon powder. And then we have some homemade tomato sauce. And I'm going to use 1 cup of this homemade tomato sauce Travis made. Look how pretty his homemade tomato sauce is. And we may wind up adding a little bit more to that. Okay. So now we're just going to give that a good mix. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of black pepper. Around a teaspoon of salt. And around a teaspoon of onion powder. Okay, we're going to let that start simmering and get all that mixed in. And now we're going to put the lid on this and we're going to let that simmer for around an hour on medium-low. And after we cook it for an hour, then we're going to come back and we're going to add our potatoes, our carrots, and a little bit of celery once our beef tips get good and tender. Okay, while my beef is getting tender and simmering, I went ahead and chopped me up 2 cups of potatoes, 1 cup of carrots, and about 2 tablespoons of celery. It's mixed in with my carrots, and we're going to add around a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And that's what we're adding to our small batch beef stew for 2, maybe 3. But this is just a small batch of beef stew, using up that little bit of beef meat we had. And we're doing the first step to get it tender before we add our potatoes and our carrots and celery. Okay, we've been letting this simmer for around an hour on like a medium-low. And now we're going to check and see if we got our beef tips tender. Oh yeah, look at that. So now I'm ready to put my vegetables in. And before we add our vegetables, we're going to add around a teaspoon of this Worcestershire sauce, or whatever you call it. About a teaspoon, not much. And now we're going to add our carrots and our little bit of celery. And I'm going to drain our potatoes, and we're going to add our 2 cups of white potatoes. And now we're just going to mix in our vegetables. And now we're going to let this beef stew cook probably for around another 45 minutes to maybe an hour until our potatoes and carrots get tender. We're going to put the lid back on it and let it simmer and tenderize now our potatoes and carrots. Okay, I'm going to serve us up a little bowl of this so y'all can see how our beef stew turned out to look. And I got to get a spoon to get some of that good sauce. Okay, y'all, that's what our easy, simple, homemade beef stew turned out like. I hope y'all give this a try, and if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. And if you think about trying our recipe, comment down below. And the Worcestershire sauce, I did say a tablespoon when I started, but I decided to just add 1 teaspoon. So I did say a tablespoon, but we went with 1 teaspoon. I hope y'all give this recipe a try. Thanks for watching. Okay, y'all, I hope y'all like this quick little video on how to make a simple skillet full of beef stew on a budget. If you like our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, and share our videos. It's helping our channel grow. Thanks for watching.